Good afternoon, class. My name is Caleb Pollard. My student ID is S111459088. The subject is economics, and this is the year 12 class. Today's topic will be on productivity. So first, let us do some stories. Let us have some discussion as an icebreaker to get us ready for today's class. So for today, since we have been in lockdown, it would be good to know what you students have been up to during lockdown. So what I want you to do is to click on the link, which is highlighted in blue, and I want you to insert a photo of what you have been up to during lockdown. So for example, this is what you do. So take you to this link, it'll open up. So let's see, icebreaker, post a photo of what you've been doing. So you type up your name. You write a description. Okay. This is what I've been up to during my lockdown, looking after my parrot, Jane the parrot. Okay, so hopefully we'll do that and we can have a look at what all the students have been up to during lockdown. For today's class, today's learning outcome is that you guys will understand what productivity is and describe ways of improving productivity to increase output. We'll brainstorm more about this in the next slide. So productivity, what do you already know about productivity? What do you think? What do you think about yourself as a productivity? Do you think at the end of the day, do you think you've been productive or not? Or do you think as a family, have you been productive working together? So yeah, what do you think you already know? Have a think about these questions to see, to learn more about productivity. Okay, so productivity. So basically the term productivity refers to the relationship between the volume of goods and services produced over time and the volume of resources used in the production. So in the context of economics, this is what productivity is. So productivity in economics measures output per unit of input, such as labor, capital, or any other resources. And the basic calculation for productivity is simple. Productivity equals total output divided by total input. Next slide. So basically, there are 8 factors of productivity. So the first one, technical factors. Productivity largely depends on technology. So technical factors are most important ones. So these include the proper location, the layout, the size of the plant and machinery, correct design of machines and equipment, research and development, or even the automation and computerization of the organization. So basically looks at the latest technology and its productiveness will be high. So think about someone using a saw to cut timber compared to a machine cutting a piece of timber. The second factor is production. It is related to the production factor. So the production of all departments should be properly planned, coordinated, and controlled. So for example, using the right quality of raw materials should be used for production. The process should be simple and standardized. If everything went well, it will increase in productivity. So those are production factors. Number 3, organizational factors. Authority and responsibility of every individual and department should be defined properly. So a simple type of organization should be used. The line and the staff relationships should also be clearly defined, so there's no conflicts between the line and staff. There should be a division of labor and specialization as far as possible to help increase organization productiveness. The fourth factor, personal factors. These are the right individuals should be selected for suitable posts, or the rights each worker should have. So productivity of organization is directly related to personal factors. After selection, they should be given proper training and development. They should be given better working conditions and work environment. They should be properly motivated financially or non-financially and with positive incentives. Incentive wage policies should be introduced. Job security should be also be given. Opinion or suggestions of workers should be given importance, and there should be proper transfer, promotion, and other personal policies. All these will increase the productiveness of the organization. The fifth factor is the finance factors. This is to do with money. The capital expenditure should be properly controlled. The investment and the flow of money. So productivity relies on the finance. Finance is the lifeblood of the modern business. There should be a better control over both fixed capital and working capital. There should be proper financial planning as well. Capital expenditure should be properly controlled. Both over and underutilization of capital should be avoided. The management should see that they get proper returns on the capital which is invested in the business. If the finance is managed properly, the productiveness of the organization will increase. The sixth factor. Managers should possess imagination, judgment skills, and willingness to take risks. Productivity of organization rests on the management factors. The management of organization should be scientific, professional, future-oriented, sincere, and competent. Managers should possess imagination, judgment skills, and willingness to take risks. They should make optimum use of the available resources to get maximum output at the lowest cost. They should also use recent techniques of production, and they should develop better relations with employees and trade unions. They should encourage the employees to give suggestions. They should provide a good working environment and should motivate employees to increase their output. Efficient management is the most significant factor for increasing productiveness and decreasing costs. Factor number 7, government factors. Productivity depends on government factors. The management should have a proper knowledge about the government rules and regulations. They should also maintain good relations with the government. The last factor is location factors. Law and order situation, infrastructure facilities, and nearness to the market. So productivity also depends on location factors such as law and order situation, infrastructure facilities, nearness to market, and nearness to the sources of raw materials, skilled workforce. So for example, in the Solomon Islands, when there was ethnic tension, we can note that there was little investment because of that instability of law and peace. So people didn't want to set up businesses here. So that could be one example. Okay. Ways of improving productivity. Number 1, increase in specialization. When each firm tends to confine its activity to the production of a particular good or service. Number 2, interdependence means mutual reliance is when each sector specializes in a certain good or service and exchange or depend on each other to satisfy their wants. Number 3, division of labor increases productivity since it allows people to do work for which they are best suited and take full advantage of their existing skills, talents, and abilities. 4th, Automation is an extension of mechanism where human control is replaced by mechanical control. Example, the computerization of production process. And the last one, productivity is also improved through economies of scale and mass production. And economies of scale is sometimes called increasing returns to scale or economies of mass production. The scale of a firm's operation increases as firm becomes bigger, reducing per unit cost of production. So here's the activity for throughout the week. I know there's a lot of words for you to learn. Hopefully you can use this throughout the week to understand them. Your activity is what is meant by the term productivity, explain that. And number two, distinguish between increase in production and increase in productivity. There's a picture there. I want you to describe the picture and look at it. So there's two questions in the picture. Explain how specialization affects productivity of workers and total output. Number two, explain how specialization creates interdependence. For your research, I want you to click this link. It will take you to a reading. This reading here. So it's about the coconut industry. Have a read about it and tell me so just summarize the reading in one paragraph, what you learned about the reading. Number two, identify the challenges faced in the coconut industry. And number three, find ways to improve your productivity in the coconut industry based on what you learned today. So think about Solomon Islands, don't think that far. They really should help you. So when you're done with that, just send it to my email, note it down here. So yeah, in summary, production, basically production is total output divided by the total input. All the resources and all the factors that leads to creating a product. I remember the 8 factors, the 8 of them. The last one, ways of improving productivity. So hopefully you understand what productivity is and you can find ways of improving productivity.